To me, it just makes sense. Like, if he's fighting for a world title in my division, why don't people want to see who the best is in the division? Like, it does not make sense to me if we don't.
My thing that I'm mad about is, right, if you guys think you're the best in the world, why don't you fight the other best in the world and show the people, like, what the, you guys are getting a lot of money? Like, what's the problem?
Hey, they're talking about fighting the best, this and that. Don't fucking talk about it, boys. I'm right here. The winner out of Zerdo and Benavidez. Let's go. Let's make it happen.
Jai Opetaia has sent a clear warning to David Benavidez as speculation continues to grow around a possible Cruiserweight showdown between two of the division's most dangerous fighters following Ramirez's knockout defeat. At the same time, Opetaia has made it known that his main priority is building a lasting legacy and that a fight with Benavidez matters to him because of what it could mean at the very top of the Cruiserweight division.
Chase fame or someone else, or, chase names for clout. I'm chasing Undisputed. Even Benavidez, his name's only in the mix is because he's fighting for a Cruiserweight title. So if it wasn't fighting for a Cruiserweight title, it doesn't bother me. I don't chase names. I'm chasing legacy and Undisputed, Not look at the last couple Undisputed fighters. They're the goats of this sport. You know what I mean? And I want my name up there and I want my last name.
At the same time, David Benavidez views a future fight with Jai Opetaia as one of the biggest and most exciting matchups currently available. He also indicated that promotional issues and business complications could prevent the fight from being arranged in the near future.
I mean, I think that's the biggest fight in the world, especially at this weight division, and that's definitely a fight I want. Like I said, I'm not scared of nobody. This is Monstro's world. And if he wants to get that fight, we get that fight. I don't know why he went to Zuffa. We could have made this fight right after this one. But now I don't know if he got stripped by the IBF or what it is. I'm not going to go over there and fight for a Zuffa title. But I don't know. I think that would be a great fight to make in the future. And I respect Jai Opetaia a lot. He's a great fighter. And I think he has to come back over here to make these fights happen because, we can't make no fights in his.
Even so, Jai Opetaia has expressed respect for the discipline and mindset that David Benavidez brings to boxing, while continuing to see a potential fight between them as a serious challenge that could force both fighters to reach an even higher level in their careers.
I actually don't mind Benavidez, you know what I mean? Like, he's the way he holds himself, the reason he fights, he's chasing legacy. He talks about him and his old man, and he opens up about, some of his, the life he sort of lived. So it's actually a little bit similar to mine, my dad being my coach, and so I can relate when I hear him speak. I know that feeling. I know, the father being the coach and boxing since you're a little boy. So it's respect, but at the same time, bro, I feel like it's an awesome fight. And I told him too, I said, me and you, man, we'll
Adding to the increasing speculation, David Benavidez has admitted that factors outside the ring could influence how a possible fight with Jai Opetaia unfolds in the future. Even so, he has made it clear that he remains open to the matchup if the circumstances on both sides eventually come together and make the fight possible.
We don't even know about Jai Opetaia now. I don't know what's going on with Zuffa. And from what I hear, my people and their people, they're really hard. They don't like to work with each other. So, but, if that's what the people want, I'm here to cater to the people. So if we can't get the fight with Bivol and the people want the fight with Jai Opetaia, that's what we're going to make.
Continuing the discussion, Jose Benavidez Sr. has questioned whether Jai Opetaia has enough mainstream name recognition at this point to justify a major fight with David Benavidez. He believes Opetaia may still need greater exposure beyond dedicated boxing fans before the matchup generates stronger demand from the wider audience.
I'd rather see David fight Zurdo or Opetaia. If you ask the Mexican fighters, they don't know who Opetaia is. He still needs to develop a little bit more and grow his fan base. Does it make sense? So if we were fighting Opetaia, people would be complaining. We're fighting nobody, about somebody that is not known. The boxing world knows who he is. Because at the end of the day, for Mexicans know Opetaia.
Meanwhile, Jose Benavidez Sr. believes that Jai Opetaia may still need additional experience before facing a seasoned fighter like David Benavidez. He pointed to occasions where Opetaia appeared vulnerable against lower-level opponents, and suggested that the difference in top-tier experience is still an important factor at this stage.
To be honest with you, Opetaia, I think he gets hurt every fight he fights. He gets hurt with fighters that are not even known. I think he needs a little bit more experience. And I'm going to say the same thing like David Morrell. Everybody said that he was a next big thing and that he was going to make David look like an amateur, this and that. You know, he doesn't have the experience that David has. I think he is going to be better in about 3-4 years more. You know, I think he's lacking out experience a little bit more. Don't get me wrong, he's a fighter. He is going to be a great fighter. But right now, he doesn't have the experience that David has.
On the flip side, Roy Jones Jr. has suggested that David Benavidez should focus on securing a fight with Oleksandr Usyk before considering a matchup with Jai Opetaia. He believes that a clash with Usyk would bring much greater historical significance at this moment, while the opportunity to face Opetaia could still be there at a later stage, depending on how events develop. For Jones, the concern is that any misstep or poor timing could disrupt Benavidez's momentum, making each career decision extremely important right now.
It's not smart for David Benavidez to give Jai Opetaia a shot at his name right now because he's hot right now. You go up and fight Usyk while you're hot, and it makes sense. You can always come back down and fight Opetaia if you want to. You understand? If you lost to Usyk, Opetaia fight still there. If you lose to Opetaia, Usyk fight gone. So be smart about this thing. Go take Usyk while the iron is hot. You beat Usyk, you don't know how to see Opetaia unless you want to come to heavyweight. But if you go fight Opetaia and lose, you don't get a chance to see Usyk, and you don't get a chance to make history. That's crazy. You're on a rail right now to do something that nobody ever done before.
At the same time, Andre Ward considers a fight with Jai Opetaia to be the most important option currently available for David Benavidez. He sees Opetaia as the established figure in the division, while Benavidez is the rising name gaining momentum and increasing attention in boxing circles. Ward also feels that this matchup brings more excitement and competitive interest right now compared to other possible fights being discussed. For Benavidez,
I think the Jai Opetaia fight at Cruiserweight is the fight for me. That's the fight that I want to see. Jai has been the man at that weight class for a very long time. Now you got a new player in the division with a hot name and whose stock and whose star power is only rising. That's the fight I believe that needs to be made at the Cruiserweight division. We'd love to see B-Ball, but for some reason, the light heavyweight division just is not as appealing to me right now for David Benavidez. And again, I'm not sure that that's the right weight for him to fight, being that he's fought this weight and look the way that he did. I think it's Cruiserweight or maybe go up and fight Oleksandr.
Teofimo Lopez has described a potential David Benavidez versus Jai Opetaia fight as already having the feel of a major Cruiserweight event. He believes the matchup carries the level of significance usually reserved for the biggest championship fights in boxing, especially with both fighters building momentum at the same time. However, Lopez also feels that Benavidez should take one more step within the division before all attention fully shifts toward that high-profile showdown.
Cruiserweight kingpin Jai Opetaia tweeted, "Enjoy your victory. See you soon."
Ooh, okay.
Now, there's been plenty of talk over the past year of Benavidez fighting Beterbiev or Bivol guys, right, at light heavy. But now that he's at Cruiserweight, what does Benavidez and Opetaia look like? What does that look like, Teo?
I see it as like an undisputed title, and if with the whole conjunction of Zuffa belt and everything like that, why not? I mean, we had that kind of similarity when it came to Canelo and Crawford, right? And I felt like this is another great time. I think we should wait on this. Let David Benavidez aim for Noel for the WBC, who just beat Badou Jack, and then
Moreover, Devin Haney considers a potential fight between David Benavidez and Jai Opetaia to be a true elite level matchup due to the skill set and strengths Opetaia has shown at Cruiserweight. At the same time, Haney feels that Benavidez brings a unique style and level of presence that stands out in a different way, suggesting that if the fight does take place, his influence in the division could end up being something quite uncommon and significant.
Jai, I think that he's a good fighter, but I think that Benavidez is just a great fighter.
Do you think that that's a competitive fight? Do you think it goes a lot of rounds? Do you think it's a fight of the year type of fight?
Yeah, I think that it's a very competitive fight because, you know, Jai, he has speed, he has power, he has experience, and he's been at the weight. But like I said, I just think that Benavidez is levels above.
Adding to the conversation, Max Kellerman believes David Benavidez has developed his standing in boxing without yet getting the career-defining chance that normally proves a fighter's position at the top of a division. He argues that several of the sport's biggest names have avoided giving Benavidez that opportunity, which is why a potential fight with Jai Opetaia would carry much greater significance than an ordinary matchup.
By my lights, the way I figure things, has never actually been the champion of a division. Not his fault. Canelo never gave him a shot. So far, neither Bivol gave him a shot, nor Beterbiev, when he was a champ, gave him a shot. Opetaia is a champion who is sitting there going, I want to fight you, right? Look, the fact that no one's fought Benavidez, you understand. And I know he just beat Zurdo Ramirez and there were belts on the line. The actual champion of the division is...
Further adding to the debate, Teddy Atlas has praised David Benavidez for consistently seeking out top-level competition. Instead of remaining in safer or easier situations, he believes Benavidez stands apart because of his mindset as he continues to move toward dangerous opponents and greater physical challenges at times when many other fighters might choose to avoid them. Atlas views this approach as a clear sign of the confidence and high standards Benavidez maintains throughout his career.
Got talent. He's been fighting since he's a kid. You know, he was brought up, him and his brother, to be fighters. It's in their blood. You know, they live it. But I always loved him because of his attitude on top of that he'll fight anyone. Old school. You know, he puts his money where his mouth is. He wanted to fight Canelo, he's ready to fight Canelo. You know, he didn't get that, then, you know, he goes up to light heavyweight. And he wins the title there. And then he goes up to cruiserweight. He'll take fights that, at least on paper, are risky fights that a lot of people wouldn't take, and he'll take them. He puts his money where his mouth is. He has the true confidence that you want in a champion.
Additionally, Teddy Atlas believes that Benavidez becomes especially dangerous when the fight tempo increases. He highlights his fast attacking flurries, his ability to throw combinations in volume, and his sharp sense of timing, which together help him seize control of exchanges. Without warning, Atlas considers this skill to shift momentum quickly as one of the main reasons behind Benavidez's continued success.
He's faster, he's more explosive, and he's got that ability to fight and burst. He is a guy, I think the secret's out. I don't think everyone knew that this is a guy who is explosive and burst. The way that, you know, you might be in a certain part of the country that is prone to cloudbursts of rain. Like in the middle of the day, all of a sudden, boom, there's a burst of torrential rain. And then it stops. And then boom, there's another one. That's Benavidez. He is explosive with his hand speed, with power, and just his knack, his instinctual knack to know when to explode.
Even as the matchup continues to draw major attention, Jose Benavidez Sr. is still not fully convinced that Jai Opetaia is completely refined when it comes to handling top-tier level opposition. He refers to certain moments in his recent fights where maintaining a high pace seemed more difficult, even though he still controlled the action overall. At the same time, he makes it clear that their team has no concerns about accepting a fight of that magnitude and stepping into that level of competition.
I think he's a great fighter. I met him at a fight. I want to give a big shout out to Opetaia. I think he's a great fighter. He's doing well, but I think he still needs the experience, you know. His last fight, I think he held back. He looked a little bit tired. He was struggling in there. He did win the fight to me. And, I mean, he did win pretty much all the rounds. But, you know, I just think that he needs a little bit more experience. You know, we'll fight him tomorrow. Not a problem. Like I said, we want to fight him. But it's a fight that people want to see.
From a different point of view, Coach Breadman feels that Jai Opetaia would present a significantly more dangerous athletic test for David Benavidez compared to some of his recent rivals. He highlights Opetaia's explosive bursts of speed, his movement around the ring, and his ability to attack from awkward left-handed angles as key elements that could trouble Benavidez during close exchanges, especially in moments where he comes forward under pressure.
Well, Opetaia is big, fast, and explosive. And David has good defense, but he's not unhittable. So the fact that David started out at 168 and Opetaia started out at 200, Opetaia, you know, I didn't think Zurdo could do anything with David because he's just too slow getting off, man. You know what I mean? Like, everything is not about speed, man. But when the speed difference is that big, you got to have some kind of like masterful timing or jab or something to offset that. He's just too slow. Opetaia not slow like that. He's twitchy, he's fast, and he's explosive. And David gonna have to be careful. That ball hit you with a left hand, he can knock you out. And he's a southpaw, so he'll have some built-in advantages. He's just it's not a skill thing. He's a different level athlete than what El Zurdo is.
Expanding on his analysis, Breadman gives David Benavidez the advantage when it comes to overall polish and technical skill in the ring. But he still considers Jai Opetaia a tricky opponent due to the pressure and physical strength he applies in exchanges. He adds that Opetaia carries a presence in the ring that can push Benavidez into awkward situations, even in rounds, where he seems to be in full control.
He'll be fighting hard. I think David might know a little bit too much for him. I think he might be a little bit too skillful for him and be a little bit too slick. But his raw athleticism and punching power is something David gonna have to be careful with. Remember the Morrell fight where David was winning rounds, but Morrell was shaking David up because he was big and he was strong and he was like physical with him. He was shaking David up with some punches, if you remember that fight. It wasn't a thing where Morrell was winning more rounds than he was, but it was like a danger, like, yo, I just can't do what I want to do with this guy because he's so big and he's so strong and he's fighting back. Well, Opetaia is bigger than Morrell and he's a little better.
A little better, huh?
Yeah, I think he's a little bit better than Morrell.
Okay.
Yep. Not a lot, but I think he's a little better. And he's 25 pounds.
Analyzing the matchup, Andre Dairo feels that Jai Opetaia has the footwork and defensive skills needed to manage exchanges and dictate certain moments in the ring. However, he also believes there is still improvement to be made in how Opetaia sets up his offense. He suggests that he would be even more effective if he used his lead hand more regularly to structure his attacks and generate clearer opportunities to land clean shots.
Does lack is a creative jab, right? He doesn't use his jab as much as he should. Though the footwork is there, right? He's going to make you miss and he'll eventually make you pay, you know, but that jab sets up everything and helps you find the following shots, man. So he could be a lot more tailored with his jab and a lot more successful because...
Continuing his analysis, Daryl praises David Benavidez for the wide range of attacking skills he brings into the ring, highlighting his fast combinations, strong punching power, and constant pressure style. However, he also feels that Benavidez can lose some tactical discipline when he is moving forward, sometimes depending too heavily on aggression rather than maintaining structured positioning while trying to close the distance on his opponents.
I thought it's probably the best cruiserweight in the division because I remember when I talked to Brandon, he was, working and sparring guys like Arthur, and a lot of times in Arthur Benavidez camps, a lot of the sparring partners, they don't make it. Like they get sent home like first day and stuff. So, but there was a lot of consistency in him in those camps, let alone his career. I know he kind of fell short with a fight here and there, but he's also had breakout performance.
Furthermore, Bernie, the boxer acknowledges David Benavidez for what he has accomplished in the sport, along with his punching strength and his willingness to stay active in high-pressure exchanges. However, he is still not fully convinced by the technical aspects of Benavidez's fighting style and raises questions about certain details in his approach, even while admitting that it produces strong results in real fight situations. Still, Bernie feels that the aggressive mindset behind his style is what consistently leads to exciting and entertaining bouts.
He a hard puncher? Yes. Do he got swag? Yes. Is he a champion now, unified? Yes. Do I think he's afraid of anybody? No. But I'm not impressed with David Benavidez, like I'm saying. And the shit, not only that I don't like his style, the way he fights. I don't like his style. I don't like his stance. Again, listen, I don't like his style. He's confrontational. So it makes the fight intriguing because he's going to mix it up. He's not going to be safety first. He's going to mix it up. So I appreciate that from an exciting standpoint, from that standpoint.
At the same time, Zab Judah believes that David Benavidez is a difficult opponent to solve at the highest level. He explains that the constant variation in Benavidez's offense, along with the unusual rhythm of his attacks, makes him very hard to predict. Once he builds pressure, Judah feels that this uncertainty is what prevents many fighters from ever feeling fully settled or comfortable when facing him.
It's a new style. David Benavidez has his own style in boxing. He has his own. He's the first fighter we know with his style. Coming up with his style, he mastered it. So there is no real defense for the style yet. There is no real, how does the blockage go? How does it go? Like, I never see they don't teach them shit like that. You know what I mean? So until somebody can come up with, until they can learn the style completely, you're not gonna know how to defend against it. We gotta see it some more. You know what I mean? So shout out to David Benavidez coming up with his own style. That's crazy. And the switch. Crazy. My guy, he's the first guy with it. What up? I'm saying it. Don't make David cut that switch on.
Meanwhile, Zab Judah is in favor of fighters accepting tough and risky matchups, but he makes it clear that he does not support moving up to heavyweight. He explains that naturally larger opponents bring a totally different kind of physical strength and size advantage, especially when they have reduced weight from even heavier divisions. For Judah, stepping into that kind of environment can take a fighter away from the strengths and advantages that originally made them successful.
Jai Opetaia wants that smoke as well, but is in Zuffa.
Yeah, he could get all that him. Let's go, run it. But the heavyweights, nah, bro. Hold up, solid heavyweight niggas, 230, 240, and then all the time they coming down from 260. Nah, bro, don't do that. I'm gonna let them trick you out this spot.